Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And today I have with me one of these diamonds in the rough. His name is Zachary Blackiston. He's an edge rusher out of Heidelberg. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you as well.
So Heidelberg Division III school, but hey, if you're good, scouts will find you, which they have. You've had such an excellent career there at your school, but if you don't mind, set the stage a little bit for us. Tell me maybe where you're from and walk me through your journey a little bit about how you got there to your school.
Alrighty, yeah, absolutely. So I'm from Canton, Ohio. Hall of Fame City. My dad teaches at Canton McKinley High School, the school right next to the Hall of Fame. You can look at his classroom window and see the field, but I did not go there. I went to a powerhouse, a D2 powerhouse school called Massillon Perry. A lot of people know of Massillon, Washington. I'm not that school. We were rival schools to them as well. They're better than us now, but when I was in high school, we kicked their butt. So in high school, I played for I started on two state title teams. D-end my sophomore and junior year. We didn't win either of them, so that kind of was rough. We moved up to D1 my senior year, made it to the playoffs. We went 9-1, lost to St. Ignatius in the first round, and my recruitments kind of started from there. I had a few preferred walk-on opportunities at Division I levels. Matt Campbell out of Iowa State went to my high school, offered me a preferred walk-on spot. Didn't take it. Toledo as well. Toledo told me they were going to offer me during the season, and then offered a kid from another school in my conference, and then asked me to walk on. I didn't take it. I had some D2 interests as well. Walsh, Malone, some local schools from my area. Wheeling University was just starting their program, offered me, but I visited Heidelberg, small D3 in Tiffin, Ohio, in the middle of nowhere, and I absolutely loved it. Small campus, it's a great atmosphere. If any of you scouts have never been there, I would highly recommend a game because you'll find absolute diamonds in the rough from anywhere in the OAC that really you can mold, and they're great football players.
Yeah,
So
I definitely agree with you there. I think I want to say like last season, wasn't there a guy out of Heidelberg that was like a wide receiver or something that did very well?
Matthews, yeah, he's great at football. He's playing in the Arena Football League right now, but he definitely could make it to the NFL.
Nice. Yeah, you were talking about your high school feats there that you were able to obtain, and then of course walking us, guiding us, to your journey there at Heidelberg. Taking just a step back, however, when you're at your high school there in Canton, Ohio. Did you do any other sports growing up? I mean, whether that be basketball, baseball, track, wrestling, anything? Did you get into anything else except for football?
No, yeah, absolutely. I was a tri-sport athlete. I started on the wrestling team for 4 years too. I was a 3-time state placer.
Nice.
High school on a nationally ranked team. My junior year, we cracked the top 10 in the nation. We beat the #1 team in the country in a duel, and so I was other than football, I was a very accoladed wrestler for my time while I did wrestle. And then I played baseball as well. I was also an all-conference baseball player, as well as I was a 2-time first-team All-Ohio defensive end. I was county and region defensive player of the year and runner-up I was one of the runner-ups for the state player of the year for the defense as well.
Wow, man. So highly touted athlete out of Ohio there. So hopefully we can make those other teams that offered you those walk-ons regret the fact that they didn't take you, but certainly very prolific career there at Heidelberg. Talking to an All-American with a bunch of gaudy stats, man. I mean, 14 sacks this past season. And what is it, over 41 career sacks, over 340, I think, career tackles. So definitely all over the place making plays. So talk about your defense there for Heidelberg, and just maybe how you've been utilized, because it seems that they would have used you in a lot of different facets, obtaining some of those numbers. So talk to me about that defense.
Absolutely. So I was we ran a 3-4 and a 4-3, depending on whether we wanted to go four hands down or not. So I was the weak side outside linebacker. We call it a joker. Or I would, if we went to nickel, four hands down, I would pop over to the field side defensive end. They utilized me by not a lot of teams that we played put multiple receivers into the bench. So if they did, we would call a field blitz. So I would drop into coverage I'd be extended on a two receiver, just have either the seam or the flat, never play man to man. I'm not fast enough to run with a slot receiver. It doesn't matter. You have to know your limitations. I'm fast, but I'm not that fast. So I played coverage as well, but pass rushing was really where I excelled at. So we ran a lot of, we called them bench blitzes or bench rushes, which just means the joker rushes off the edge instead of the Sam, who was the other outside linebacker. We stunted a lot. We had a lot of different stunts, especially this year. Our new coach, Charlie Avila, really put in. Coach G at Toledo last year, played at Mount Union, really came and implemented some great stunts for us to run this year that were hard for teams to block and sometimes hard to run if the situation depends on it. If it's a run stopper twist and it's a pass, you gotta go from there. But we're able to capitalize on what we were good as a defense instead of just me particularly. But
Nice.
yeah.
So I mean, it sounds as if they really used you all over the place.
Yeah.
Dropping back into coverage, but obviously your best asset, of course, being that of a pass rusher.
Correct.
What do you feel separates you as a prospect? I mean, do you feel like it is that versatility, or just your I don't know, your ability to excel as a pass rusher?
I truly think that it's my ability to excel as a pass rusher. It doesn't matter what level I have competed at. I am going to get to the quarterback. I played in the FBS Tropical Bowl, and from a small D3 kid, I got a sack against a D1 center because I played in the shade. So I'm very versatile in how I pass rush and where I can pass rush from. I can pass rush from the edges in 5s and 7s. I can pass rush in a shade or a 3. It doesn't matter. I'm very good at getting to the quarterback.
Nice. So you mentioned there that you participated in some all-star events, the FCS Bowl and Tropical Bowl. So walk me through that a little bit and those experiences, whether it be some of the weekly activities, the practices, or even the interviews that you may have partaken in.
Yeah, so the FCS Daytona Bowl that I got invited to, I was really excited to because I was seeing a whole bunch of other kids get invited to different bowl games, and they reached out to me and said, "We want to invite you." I talked to my coach because I have a lot of trust in my coach. He said, "That's a good one, absolutely." He was worried that like it'd be like just like a money grabber, just try to get some experience, but I told him this name. He was like, "That's a great bowl. Absolutely. It's legit. You should go." I went down there. It was FCS through NAIA. So a mix of FCS, D2, D3, and NAIA kids. I had a great time down there. I excelled at practice. This is the first time that I truly pass rushed from anywhere, and I learned that I can do it. There was a guard from their orange Sam Houston, I believe, that was a big kid. I believe he was an All-American at guard. He got invited to the Tropical Bowl with me after that, and I was able to dominate him in the pass rush and a little bit in the run game as well. So that kind of showed my eyes that I always knew that I was good enough to compete at any level, but I just get a bit nervous. And coming from like a D3 school, the stigma is, that you don't play anybody. Like the competition, once you play against it, is you don't do well. But that opened my eyes and showed me that I could compete with him, and I beat him a lot. And then I got a TFL and a few pressures in the game on the first FCS Daytona game. And then they elevated me. They only took like the top 20 kids from the FCS Tropical Bowl into the FCS Daytona Bowl into the FBS Tropical Bowl down in Orlando a month later. And that is a lot better, like talent-wise bowl. Our O-line had UNLV, Air Force, Southern Miss, and I did great as well down there. I pass rushed very well. I did well in the run game, in the practices, and in the game I got a sack against the other team. And I know that the player there had to be good. If he wasn't good, he wouldn't be there. Big D1 kid. So I just know that I know I can compete with anybody and I can excel anywhere as well.
So, I mean, obviously very interesting. I mean, yeah, like you said, the stigma, D3 is D3. I mean, they're just kind of pushovers. And, I mean, obviously a lot of them are, but you kind of proved that stigma wrong. You were able to go out there and compete with D1 guys. And so you go out there, you dominate the FCS bowl, you get called up to the Tropical Bowl, you do well there. And Zach, right now you're sitting at a point where you are a legitimate NFL prospect. That is tough to say, really, for a lot of D3 kids. So, how are you taking that, by the way? I mean, that whole idea, like, have you been able to wrap your mind around that right now?
It's unreal to me, actually, because I've dreamt, being from Canton, Ohio, I've dreamt of playing in the NFL my whole life. I grew up rocks throw away from the Hall of Fame before my parents got divorced. And I literally, since I was a little kid, started football. I started tackling people in flag football in 3rd grade because I just wanted to hit kids. So it's definitely like a dream come true, but also very nervous to see that, like, oh my goodness, I can do this. And I just have to focus on like myself right now and just try to control what I can control, not get too nervous and let outside factors like, oh, did this team talk to you? Did this team talk to you affect me, when I just know that I have to go perform on a great pro day.
Well, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, you've been doing well so far. But Zach, when you look at the entirety of your career, with all of your experiences there at Heidelberg, and including some of those all-star events, what's going to stick out to you when you look back on your collegiate time? I mean, is there maybe like a specific moment, a game, a play, even that is going to stick with you for a long time?
Yeah, absolutely. My first collegiate sack is going to stick with me because it was freshman year. Was the 6th play of the game, my second play in the entire game. We were playing Olivet, and they had a quarterback who looked like Ivan Drago. He was like 6'6", 240. He was absolutely huge. We ran a tie stunt, which means tackle first, ends up and loops under. I came through clean, and I tried to hit him. Like, I wrapped around him and bring him down, but I couldn't. So I had to kind of wrestle and spin and trip him down. But then ever since there, I felt comfortable at the collegiate career. I think my first game overall, I had like 8 TFLs, 2.5 or 3 sacks, one of the two. After my first collegiate career, I was put on the D3 team of the week. So just from there, I knew that I was going to be able to do something special with my career.
Nice, man. So, I mean, certainly, like we've already mentioned, you've been able to accomplish that, and you've put together a very solid resume to hopefully give you those opportunities at the next level. Um, Zach, I do want to take an opportunity to meet you outside of football a little bit.
Absolutely.
So if you don't mind, give me a little something about you that maybe not everybody knows, something interesting
Uh,
or fun. Give me something.
well, something interesting and fun about me that not everybody would know. If you don't follow me on social media, I am engaged to the love of my life.
Sweet.
She, we own a house in Barberton, Ohio. We have two cats, and I help her with her when I'm not training. I help her with her family business. Her family owns the North Canton Roller Skating in North Canton Skating Entertainment Center. It is called. If you ever find yourself in Canton, Ohio, and want something to do, I suggest going roller skating. It's really fun. But yeah, I'm engaged. I am left-handed. I have red hair. If you can't see, not a lot of people like gingers, but it's kind of like a superpower.
Yeah, I think some people would say such, but some people I don't know if it's a superpower, it's a superpower. But
About it.
you said your fiance's family owns a skating rink. How are you as a skater?
How am I as a skater? I am getting better. I I don't fall. But I definitely she blows me out of the water. She can skate backwards, she can like turn while she's skating forward, and I'm just like she's still teaching me to kind of like the step over when you turn. And she tries to trip me sometimes when we skate and just hit a wheel, and she's like, "Oh, I think it'd be funny if you fall." But I haven't fallen yet, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely improved skater.
Yeah, I haven't done it in quite a while. I've got some bad ankles. So but that's
Definitely does help strengthen them if you want to try. It's
I've been there, done that, but I appreciate it.
oh,
A couple other questions just for fun. You said, of course, you're from the Canton, Ohio area in the shadow of the Hall of Fame there, which is nice. I'm trying to think, maybe one of the questions that I've been throwing guys' way is kind of a fun one. So Zach, if it was karaoke night and you had to sing one song, and you were wanting to be very confident about that one song, which one would it be?
I would say Mr. Brightside by the Killers. It's a great song, and I've listened to it so much that if it's karaoke nights and I've had a few beverages in me, and that's one I would be able to knock out of the park.
Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. So, um, Zach, obviously right now you said you're training, you're working towards your pro day. What are some of your expectations for that pro day? I mean, are there certain numbers that you're trying to obtain or something that you want to prove to scouts out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to prove that I'm just as physically gifted through 40 L test, bench, and everything like that as these D1 prospects are. That I truly, there's not a difference between me and them other than the name of the school that we went to. I'm just trying to prove that I am good enough to get my shot, especially with the pro day is all about the physical stuff that you can do, like run a 40, L test, everything like that. I'm just trying to prove that I'm just as good, if not better, than these D1 kids.
Nice. So go ahead and close this out with just your pitch to all those pro teams out there, and as to why they need to take a chance on you, sign you, draft you, bring you in, and make you part of their franchise. So go ahead and close this out with that.
Absolutely. My name is Zachary Blackiston. I'm an edge rusher or just a pass rusher from Heidelberg University. The reason why you should take the chance on me is that I'm the hardest worker you've ever met. I will not stop until I get better at my craft and better the organization. I will do anything I can to help the team through special teams wise or on the field or off the field through charity give back. It doesn't matter as long as I'm a part of the organization. The organization is part of me. And I won't stop until I'm the best on the field. Absolutely at my position.
Nice. Well, Zach, do appreciate our time together. Do feel like you do have a lot to offer as a prospect. I mean, again, when you look at your resume, very successful edge rusher there at Heidelberg, with a lot of upside. So do wish you very best of luck in this process. All right.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Sure. Once again, Zachary Blackiston, defensive end edge rusher out of Heidelberg. Definitely check him out.